about to cross 200 subscribers, which is a bit of a milestone. Obviously there's a long way to go to get to 1,000, but it's better than nothing, and it's going the right way, so we keep going like that. Friday today is another video. We got some results of the survey today, which is good. All sorts of madness happening in the world, the government world of coronavirus, dealing with COVID. Isn't it funny? It's like the media can't wait to frighten the country to death almost, because fear creates the most reads. That's how they sell papers, that's how they get people flooding online to look at their stories. Frighten people. Fear spreads panic. And so you've got the hotel thing now, people coming from other countries that have got to isolate in hotels, and if you if you try and dupe the authorities, you get a 10-year prison sentence and all that kind of stuff. There's strains developing of the virus, which is, I mean, it's so silly because the medical people expect all this. They expect strains to develop. They know viruses all the time. That's one of the things they do. They develop different strains. So now you've got this Kent strain that, of course, the media is saying is going to sweep the whole country. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. It's just all madness. They're saying, don't book your summer holidays. We don't know what state we'll be in. But anyway, enough of all that government twaddle. Let's let them get on with it. I'm sure we'll all still be here in a few months' time. So we published a survey this week asking you about online theatre streaming. Does it work? Doesn't it work? What are your thoughts on it? And we had some really interesting responses. I think we had... Here we go. We asked 3 proper questions. Do productions originally designed for the stage still work when streamed to small screens? And the overwhelming winner, with 34 and a bit % of the vote, said they do work sometimes, and at least it gets people watching a theatre production again. And the rest was all pretty evenly distributed. The next one we said was, do online Zoom type play readings and performances work? Again, the runaway winner was interesting. It says, I think it's appreciated more by those taking part rather than the few who are watching, which is obviously true, isn't it? Those who have ever taken part in anything like that, it's the taking part that counts. That's what they say, isn't it? And it's true. That was 45%. And the next one, which gained a quarter of the vote, no, over half of the vote, I beg your pardon, 55% of the votes nearly, the question was, are we stuck with this new normal indefinitely, or will things eventually return to normal? We will get back to normal, but the return of public confidence is going to take longer than people think. I hope this year's panto season can survive, but I'm not sure. And that got 55% of the votes. And then we asked for some comments if you wanted to give them. Totally optional, and it's all anonymous. And I'm just going to read some of these out because they are interesting. They're always interesting. Always interesting from the great collection of people that you are out there. So I'm just going to run through anonymous quotes from comments. Like everyone, fed up of it all, but the professional theatre is who I feel sorry for. Cast, crew, everyone. I hope it all recovers, and 10 out of 10 to St Andrew Lloyd Webber for all his efforts to get theatres up and running. Someone else is watching NT at home. It's interesting to note the difference between the archived live productions and those specifically recorded when live for future transmission. Yeah, it's interesting. Another person, I am so proud that so many people or societies have managed to find ways to keep their members engaged through such difficult times. I can only hope that one day soon we will all be able to get back doing the hobby that we all love so dearly. Interesting stuff. Another person, miss rehearsals and my friends, as it is my social life, as it is for many people out there. Let's get back into theatres, someone else says. And I've got to stick this in. Keep up the good work, sardines. As if I wasn't going to put that one in. So that's it. Someone else, this is quite a long one. This says, I think this pandemic has opened up an alternative style of watching theatre which has been a lifeline to many theatres and arts organisations. Plus it has made theatre and live performances more accessible. West End theatre in particular is very expensive and difficult to attend for many, so it has been wonderful to be able to watch shows from the comfort of your own sofa. I think and hope we will see many more hybrid theatre shows in the future, so that people will have the choice to attend live, if able and feel safe to do so, or buy an online ticket and watch live when convenient. You will never beat live performances, but the pandemic has opened up opportunities for theatres to show to an additional online audience, and therefore making it accessible to a wider audience in terms of opportunity and price. That's fair enough, isn't it? Diversity, you can increase your audience size. That's fair enough. But live theatre seems to be what you're all saying is where it all happens. Appreciate the effort made by companies who stream and make it a nice change, but screen is ideally for film or TV, and the essence of drama is that it is a live experience. Is that word again, live? I think radio plays are a better medium for distance theatre and have been very successful. Someone else, I've seen some superb, well-produced and performed online events, but they just make me want live theatre even more. Live theatre. That phrase keeps popping up, doesn't it? If things are filmed with care, they can work. A static camera at the back of the audience does nobody any favours. Well, we've all taken a few of those, haven't we? What is most concerning is the lack of government... This is someone else's quote. What is most concerning is the lack of government guidance. I cannot remember the last time anyone talked about the relaunch of performing arts. Only the return of schools. That is true, actually, isn't it? The performing arts and theatre seems to have taken a definite back seat in all of this debate now. But there are obviously many genres out there that are all suffering at the moment, and the performing arts is one of them. Someone else. Your survey excludes radio play style inline performances, or online performances, you probably should say. These have worked extremely well for us and have allowed our group to continue operating throughout the COVID period. A lot of groups have done online performances, and when we did the shout-outs the other day, we did a lot of shout-outs for online radio plays and streamed, YouTubed film performances and things like that. So they are going on in their droves. Someone else, most pro-film stream content works as a substitute for live theatre until the real thing can come back, but the non-pro film shows tend to be poor and don't work. Someone else, I actually quite like a lot of the streaming and have seen professional plays and musicals done this way now. Continuing the availability of streaming will allow people to see a lot more pro shows than they might have been able to otherwise, because the costs are very high. High ticket prices, transport versus a low cost streaming theatre ticket where seats are always great. Absolutely, yeah, your sofa's not a bad seat, is it? But do you get the atmosphere? Live theatre, there it is again. Someone else, there isn't really an appropriate answer for your Zoom question in an amateur context. I have been involved in both casual in-house play readings and well-rehearsed performances on Zoom. The first are indeed largely for the participants, with other company members appreciating the chance to hear unfamiliar pieces read. Zoom performances, though, if well planned and rehearsed and suitable for a largely talking head setup, can be really effective, but it's not easy and must be live to be worthwhile. Tech support in terms of lighting and sound equipment and audio visual effects make a huge difference too. Somebody else, live performance is a means of escapism, education, pleasure, and it is best served in a theatre where like-minded people can enjoy together performances. We are different from each other. Therefore, we get differing stimuli from performances in its entirety. A TV cinema screen simply doesn't deliver. Basically, it's the smell of the grease paint and the roar of the crowds, the old cliche, and it's true though, or the other way round, that is missed from the televised telecast performances. And you do miss that out, don't you? You miss that walking into an auditorium, getting your seat, sitting down, because that is underestimated by a lot of us, isn't it? You know, the feeling you get, that atmosphere starts from when you arrive at the theatre, not from when the curtain goes up. The whole experience is what counts. Someone else here. All the online activity is appreciated, but it's no substitute. I can't wait to be rehearsing in person again and to go and watch live theatre again. And again, someone else. Personally, I love being able to see productions online that I would otherwise have to miss because they're too far away and or expensive. I'd love to continue after COVID-19. A lot of people are saying they hope it continues afterwards. We'll have to see. It's all about money, isn't it, in the professional theatre? They're running businesses, so it's all about money at the end of the day. Talking Heads is the favourite around this neck of the woods. Someone else here. I am 70 and my wife is 61. Theatre has been a very important part of our lives. Over 12 months, we probably attended at least 30 to 40 performances, and in addition, we are active in amateur theatre with a couple of players in a season. But we won't be going back into any auditorium where we have to sit with a mask on and socially distance. I hope that means by the end of 2021, theatre can resume in the old ways, but I'm not sure it can. We also enjoy travelling, but we won't be getting back into an aeroplane or onto a bus, aka Petri dish, until we are confident that it is safe. It could take a long time. Sorry to be pessimistic, but we assume you want us to be honest, and honesty is absolutely what we wanted you to be. And that's really interesting, isn't it? Because that is a perspective from a certain age bracket. And that's the bread and butter for a lot of theatre out there, amateur and professional theatre. Yeah, interesting stuff. And let's not forget the people that run rehearsals and appear in plays are also of a certain age bracket, many people, depending on what production you pick. So yeah, it's very difficult. My experience of taking part in online theatre is that it has brought together creative people who in normal circumstances would have never met each other. Someone else. Professional or absolutely top class amateur Zoom play readings can work in my expert. Much of the amateur work does not. Missed cues and fumbled lines plus interjections with pauses each side. Well, that is true. You do get amateur performances like that. But let's not forget that a lot of production you do not hear about or see or find out about goes into professional filming and film performances, and even zoomed performances. A lot of production value goes into those as well, where they're edited very carefully. So the amateur stuff is obviously quite a lot, just done on the spur of the moment, off the cuff, and you get what you see almost. Let's see, there's another one here. It's going to take a while to rebuild confidence at large gatherings. This will take some time to recover. Someone else. Virtual theatre work has been a lifeline during this difficult time and has taught us new technical skills which we cannot apply to live theatre in the future. Just two more here. If it's a theatre production I want to see it as a piece of theatre. It is great to be able to see productions that will be impossible to attend live for reasons both of location and expense though. Reworkings for video are a different matter. They require changes in performance. The more theatrical the production, e.g. Emma Rice Wise Children, the more effective in capturing the sense of theatre. Yeah, you do need to adapt yourself, don't you, for films or video performances. You need to tone it down a little bit more. The projection required for theatre is a totally different genre, really. And when we interview people that have done both, professionals, let's say, they tell us that they have to temper their performance, whether they're filming, whether it's theatre. It's a much quieter process for filming, television and film. Last one. I am passionate about theatre and love watching it, but feel that my passion stems from the sight, smell, touch, and being in a real theatre and not watching a scene. That to me is a TV programme and is a completely different medium altogether. And that's what quite a lot of people have said. So it's interesting, isn't it? We will publish these in our next issue as well, which comes out for April, May, which will also be a digital only, I'm guessing, and then hopefully June, July may be printed again, but we'll have to wait and see. But we are missing it, aren't we? And the trouble is, we're now getting used to missing it. Let's hope we don't get used to it for too long. Let's hope we can get back and all of a sudden it's like we've never been away. Stay safe, stay well. We will be back, but in the meantime, have a fantastic weekend. It's half term next week, so we all get a week off if you've got school-aged children. See you later. Bye.